Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Simelang Apsheni Ralocha Sanwanani Molweni. My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News Channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our community. Nigeria's bold move to expand Chinese language education nationwide has raised eyebrows, and the government has committed to strengthening ties with China, emphasizing not only trade and economic partnership, but also cultural exchange and educational collaboration. Now, at the International Chinese Language Day celebration in Abuja, Ms. Lorraine Ahmed, Director of Education Support Services at the Federal Ministry of Education, reaffirmed the government's dedication to promoting Mandarin learning in schools and university across the country. Now, on the surface, this seems like an opportunity for Nigeria to deepen its global relations, right? Especially with one of the world's fastest growing economies. But personally, I do have mixed emotions about this initiative. I think it's important to ask ourselves, at what cost are we strengthening this partnership, right? Now, I'm all for diversifying Nigeria's international relations. Don't get me wrong on that. We've seen China's rapid expansion in Africa in recent years, the massive investments, the infrastructure development, and trade deals. But if we take a closer look at how China is operating on this continent, especially in Nigeria, I do think that we need to ask some really tough questions. Because, for example, right, in some areas of Nigeria, it has been reported that Chinese businesses have opened up shops where Nigerian citizens aren't even allowed to enter. I mean, you've heard that, right? Where Chinese stores run by Chinese nationals and Nigerians are excluded from even entering these establishments. And this, to me, I believe, is a form of economic exclusion that feels like a modern day version of colonization. And while China pours in investments and builds infrastructure, I do believe that there's a deeper question about how much local Nigerians are truly benefiting. Because this is not a partnership based on equality. It almost feels more like an imbalance on one where the Nigerian people are left on the outside. And some critics have called this phenomenon a new age colonization. And while it might not look like the colonization of the past, where the foreign powers controlled entire countries, we're seeing a different form of dominance. And in this case, it's economic, cultural, and political control without the direct political occupation, right? It's a control of trade, the control of labor, and the markets, which are often with little regard for the local population. And China has been involved in a lot of construction projects here in Africa, but we've seen that these projects often benefit Chinese companies more than the people that they were meant to serve. I mean, if you sit and think about it, China's investments in Africa often come with strings attached, such as the use of Chinese workers and materials rather than employing local employers and sourcing locally. And while the Chinese language learning is undoubtedly an important skill in today's globalized world, I do wonder whether this focus on Chinese language education will truly benefit Nigerian youth in the long term, or simply create a generation of Nigerians who serve the interests of foreign powers. And I do understand that China is a key player in the global economy, and I'm not naive enough to ignore the importance of forging strong international partnerships. But I feel we need to approach this with caution, because this isn't just about learning a new language, but it's about what that language actually represents. And the rapid expansion of Chinese influence in Africa should be a wake-up call. It's clear that China stands to benefit more from its relationship with Nigeria, but we need to ensure that this benefit is reciprocal, and Nigerian people, I think, deserve to see real economic gains and not infrastructure projects that bring in foreign workers and companies. And with that being said, personally, I say that Nigeria must remain vigilant in ensuring that these foreign partnerships don't lead to another form of colonization, but instead to true progress and mutual respect. What are your thoughts on this? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I'd really like to hear what your thoughts are on this. And while you're at it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it.